the H1B guy here, and today the H1B guy checks in. Where does the H1B Interim Final Rule lawsuit currently stand? But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to the H1B guy channel here on YouTube. It helps me to produce more content like this for you. I also wanted to mention the H1B guy offers a variety of consulting services. If I can provide you peace of mind by helping you bridge the gap between your employer and your immigration attorney, please reach out. I'd love to hear how I can help you. Originally posted on November 24th, 2020, not long after midnight, an article titled Court Hearing Shows Businesses Could Prevail Against H1B Visa Rules, written by Stuart Anderson for Forbes. Quote, on November 23rd, 2020, U.S. District Judge Jeffrey S. White heard arguments focused on a single question. Did the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and Department of Labor, DOL, have good cause to bypass standard rulemaking procedures and publish emergency regulations to restrict H-1B visas? Paul Hughes of McDermott, Will and Emery, the lead counsel for plaintiffs in the Chamber lawsuit, emphasized the high stakes during the November 23rd hearing. We think this is an overt attempt to destroy the H-1B program, said Hughes, and several company executives and university leaders provided declarations to that effect. During the court hearing, held via Zoom, the Trump administration did not offer strong responses to arguments plaintiffs put forward in their reply brief or in court. As I first reported and was first reported here by Rishi back on the H1B Guy Live unedited and unscripted Q&A 8, the H1B IFR lawsuit was heard by Judge White via Zoom on Monday, November 23rd, 2020. If the name Judge White sounds familiar, it should. He's the federal district court judge that also ruled favorably for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and NAM in the travel ban case. Being completely honest here, I looked for an update on the hearing Tuesday and again Thursday last week, and I must have just completely missed this article, and I didn't see it until I had already posted the H1B Guy news for the week ending November 27th, 2020. Back to the article. Quote, first at the hearing, Paul Hughes noted that DHS and DOL rules failed to connect the H-1B visa category to the coronavirus-related economic problems. He pointed to a National Foundation for American Policy, NFAP, analysis of Bureau of Labor Statistics data that showed the U.S. unemployment rate for individuals in computer occupations stood at 3.5% in September 2020, not changed significantly from the 3% unemployment rate in January 2020 before the pandemic spread to the U.S. I've previously covered the NFAP a good bit, including the H1B Guy Dissects and several of Stewart's other articles that he's posted on Forbes here on this channel. They have pulled a lot of their data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I've also previously covered the overall technology unemployment, and Paul Hughes citing NFAP data in the travel ban lawsuit during the H-1B Guy ponders, will the H-1B travel ban be upheld or a preliminary injunction ruled? A case in which Mr. Hughes was successful in obtaining a favorable ruling. A follow-up to that case was issued on November 18th by Judge White, requiring additional and extensive requirements that the Department of State, travel.state.gov, must now meet. Very clear that the NFAP is aligning with AILA on this issue, but I'm sure that doesn't come as a surprise to many of you. Back to the article. Quote, second, the Trump administration's attorney offered a limited response to the plaintiff's point that DHS and DOL did not address the lack of connection to the H-1B visas and coronavirus-related unemployment. This is not a good sign for the Trump administration here. Very apparent that the legal backing of this ruling is clearly being shattered by the plaintiff's counsel. Back to the article. Quote, Third, the administration does not appear to successfully respond to the plaintiff's argument that DHS and DOL waited more than 6 months to issue the rules after the national unemployment rate reached its height in April of 2020. The administration's attorney said that the agency was looking at the pace of recovery and long term unemployment. Hughes argued that the two rules were on the administration's agenda for years and that the emergency was the 2020 election, i.e., not an acceptable reason for a good cause exception. In all honesty, I completely agree with this claim by Mr. Hughes. I do believe that President Trump's administration had been working on several of these measures over the last 4 years, and they used the pandemic to accelerate the action into the election. Back to the article. Quote, Fourth, the Department of Labor stated in its rule that companies would rush to submit labor condition applications, LCAs, under the new rules in place for the past 16 years if companies had advance notice of the intended changes. Alexandra Saslaw, representing the administration, argued this is a case where the agency, DOL, has significant expertise regulating businesses, and they're using their predictive judgment to determine what those businesses might do in response to a very clear economic incentive. And why do you think that is, Miss Saslaw? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the wage rule is completely out of line with the current salaries of other employees already on staff. Employers are now given two options: to either pay the H1B employee more than anyone else on their staff, or simply let them go if they can't meet the wage requirement. Back to the article. Quote, Hughes responded that President shows predictive judgment alone is not enough for an agency. There also has to be evidence. More pointedly, Hughes said, we don't think this argument advances the government's position because it relies on the notion that they had to keep the DOL rule change a secret, but the government didn't keep it a secret. It's never easy to block government regulations by convincing a court to vacate them. On behalf of the plaintiffs, Paul Hughes appeared to make that stronger legal and factual arguments. Judge White will decide if what plaintiffs describe as an overt attempt to destroy the H-1B program will be stopped. This article definitely paints the picture that the plaintiffs' counsel built a very strong case against the H-1B IFR, and that the Trump administration's counsel appeared to refute most of the allegations with weak responses. I've not personally listened to the hearing, but based on this article, I have a very good feeling that Judge White will again provide another favorable ruling for the plaintiffs. As of the time of this post, no further update has been provided. I'm expecting that we'll hear something later today, Monday, November 30th, 2020, but at the very least, we will have a ruling by Friday as the H-1B IFR is set to go into effect December 7th, 2020. I'll definitely continue to monitor this situation very closely. For the full post on the H1B Guy Checks In, where does the H1B Interim Final Rule lawsuit currently stand? Please check out the H1BGuy.com. I also want to remind you that I have started the H1B Guy channel on Telegram. We're currently at 15 members and counting. This channel is intended to be a crowdsourced communications platform surrounding news and personal experiences for U.S. employment-based immigration. I may even ask you about what content I should post next. Please come join us. I'll provide a link in the video description below. I also wanted to announce the YouTube winner for the free consultation with the H1B Guy is Mahipal Rav. Please email me at the h1bguy@gmail.com and I will follow up. Looking forward to connecting with you. And just another reminder, Dr. Oscar Cabresis will be joining me on Wednesday, December 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern for the H1B Guy Live Stamp It Out 5. Please make plans to join us. If you haven't already, please like this video, please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube, and click the bell for notifications so that you're notified anytime we post a new video here on this channel. I also wanted to say thank you to all of my subscribers and everyone who has supported this channel's growth over the last month. I'm just truly humbled by your support. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my content. I really appreciate it. The H1B Guy, your global source for all things H1B.